Hi again. This is part 2 of our lecture that is the bridge between the Industrial Revolution and the build up to World War I. So this is part two of our Between Industrialism and World War I. So Adam Smith, 1776, writes The Wealth of Nations, and he suggests that laissez-faire is the way for people to live a good life. And again, he is writing before Karl Marx, so you could think in a way of Marx as a response to Smith, if you will. We certainly have these two opposing governmental and economic philosophies still playing out today in how nations make decisions, how even political parties and leaders propose what is best, what priorities they will have, how they will bring these things about. Adam Smith suggests the best way to have a government and to have a flourishing economy is to have laissez-faire, which really means kind of lazy. Lazy kind of helps you to remember what laissez-faire means. It basically means hands off. The government should kind of be like live and let live, almost a libertarian, how we would think of economically, where basically supply and demand will govern the markets and the people will vote with their dollars by what they want, and manufacturers who wish to be successful will make those items that the people are wanting, and so everyone will kind of be happy. The business people will make a profit, and all of the people will have the supplies that they want available to them. So that's Adam Smith's idea. And he talks about 3 natural laws of economics. And those laws are, the first is the law of self-interest. And you may have seen some of this with the COVID 2019-2020 pandemic. You may have seen people, individuals acting in self-interest, and some businesses as well. People acting in self-interest have caused things potentially like shortages of toilet paper, water, hand sanitizer, when a lot of the suppliers say there is enough of all of these items, but people want to make sure that their family and their circle of influence have these things indefinitely, and so they buy a whole lot at once, causing other families to maybe not be able to buy toilet paper at all. My family was definitely in that boat a few times where we've tried to buy one package and they're all gone. But, we survive, and I hope you're doing well as well. But self-interest, that both people, the consumers, and that the businesses operate in self-interest. So Adam Smith is like, how can we take this reality of how people are and make this into a flourishing economy? He suggests that competition is the way to take self-interest and transform it into everyone having what they want, basically. And he feels that quality is higher and prices are lower when businesses have to compete to get your loyalty, to get your patronage. I recently read a study in Cuba where a lot of the organizations are owned by the government, including the medicine, and so that doctors and nurses actually make a very low wage because there's a ceiling put on it by the government. And some of these individuals, very professional individuals, are going into private businesses because they can charge whatever they want, and the market can drive up prices and quality as well. And in Cuba, I guess you have the option of going to a privately owned restaurant or a public restaurant. You can think about which one's going to try to drive the quality up. It would be the privately owned one because they can get greater wages and also have greater quality to attract those customers. And then finally, the law of supply and demand. That word for you there is demand, supply and demand. That's our puppy. That is Theo. He's having fun trying to get a bird out of a very high tree. Supply and demand. You're going to learn a lot about that in economics as a senior with Mr. D. I'm very curious what the supply and demand curves look like with toilet paper recently. But basically, Smith says overall, the market is going to provide the goods that people need through a natural supply and demand graph, and that if there is the right amount being supplied and demanded, if that's in cooperation, then both the business owners and the consumers are going to be satisfied. the businesses will be getting good profit